Yo, what's up? It's your boy Bonappy back with another Be Advised, and we are going to finish out the week with another work advice. I was going to do a relationship one. I just finished recording the other work one that you're going to see, or that you might have seen yesterday. But this story triggered me, and I really just wanted to talk about a story that I dealt with like a few years ago. That really pissed me off. So that's what we're gonna do. It's really gonna be story time with Bo Nappy, but we're gonna answer this question first. You know the vibes. Like, comment, subscribe. Let's get into it. My work colleague has started feeding back tiny things, which I have done to which I have done to our manager. These are tiny things which I would expect my colleagues to just mention. Expect my colleagues to just mention things like I missed a call from someone, I missed an email in the shared inbox, a tiny error on a document, things that are not really a big deal. I did think we were friendly, but now I feel she's almost stabbing me in the back at any given chance. Uh, when I'm asked about the above, my manager usually agrees that it's not an issue, as I can always explain why XYZ happened. However, I'm feeling increasingly frustrated by my coworker who won't mention any of these things to me directly. I wouldn't ever report things to our manager unless it was serious. For me, this is bizarre. I really don't know what she's trying to gain out of throwing me under the bus. We have the same role, and I'm very supportive and always help her if she needs it. How would you deal with this? I'm trying not to take it personally, but I'm struggling. Cool. So yeah, there's a lot of people out there that are snakes in the workplace. One thing that you get reminded of a lot in life is that people will do anything to win, to win. And you might think that someone is real cool with you and they're real nice and chill, um, but they might be jealous of you. This coworker might be threatened by you. You might be a better worker than her, and she's threatened. So her way isn't going to be to confront you about it or try to get better or try to be a better worker. She's just going to sabotage you so she looks better to the manager than you do. She might be worried that you're going to outwork her or take her job. People have a lot of underlying insecurities that come to play in situations like this. So this is what I would do in this situation. I have a story something that happened to me that is very similar to this. Now it was a little bit different, so I didn't really get to handle it the same way. Um, but this is what I would do: uh, stop helping her, stop being supportive to her, only speak to her on a need to know basis. Cut her off. Listen, some people don't deserve access to you. She is one of those people. She's a snake. For whatever reason, she thinks stabbing you in the back is going to make her look better at work, and that's what she's doing. It is personal. Now, I'm not saying you need to go in there and be rude to her and, play the same game that she plays. But, if you're doing things like helping her out with work and, when she makes a mistake, you're covering it up, just stop doing those things. Just do your job. Just do your job. Um, that's all you need to do. Stop being, you said that you're supportive and you don't report any little things. I'm not saying you got to start snitching, but just stop. Like I said, if you see anything that she misses, just don't help her because she doesn't deserve your help if that's how she's going to be. But that's really all I would say. There's people like that. It's shitty. Um, but that's how people are. People are snakes. And when they can't win the fair way, and again, it's not like that you're even in a competition per se, but when it comes to jobs, a lot of people's insecurities um, can get in the way of what should be happening. You know what I mean? You could have a hiring manager be insecure. You might be a phenomenal interview, and you might not get hired just because your hiring manager is worried that you're going to eventually take their job. It can be like that. So that's unfortunate. Now, back to my story. So, story time with Bonappy. I used to um, be an Amazon delivery driver, technically third party, but we worked for Amazon, right? I was in those big blue trucks that you see. I had just I was with a good company, and the good company that I was with was I'm just give you a little backstory. Was in this station, but they didn't get their contract renewed. So basically, I either had to go an hour and a half commute to where they were in a different city, or I had to go join another company that was in that same station. So I said, you know what, I don't want to drive an hour and a half for this job. I'm just going to join another Amazon company because this one was good. So there should be another one that's good, right? Join another one, and I'm getting trained. Now, the boss from the other company told, the the owners, or I'll just call them owners, the owners of the, because they're all like small businesses technically. The owners spoke, so he told the owner that I was going to, that I was one of his best drivers, and I was really fast and really efficient and all that, and I was. It was not lying. So I was getting trained by a guy, and he already knew that I had been, I was. I think he knew, or I told him that I was a driver in another company. He was asking me, you know, what my numbers were and how many stops I normally did, how long it used to take me, and I told him, and it was, I had good numbers, all that stuff. Cool. Training. He didn't really need to train me. I knew what I was doing, right? I had just got done working like a month ago. So fast forward, they put me again. This is a new area for me. We're driving a different truck that I'm not used to. We're in a new area that I'm not used to, and all that stuff. They put me on uh, a huge route, like a massive routes, right? And I even asked them before I started. I was like, "Hey, I know I'm not new, but maybe I got the route the first time, right?" It was ridiculous. Even if I was a veteran, that route would have been challenging for, because if you guys don't know, if you've ever done deliveries, the first time you do a route, there's a lot of things you have to learn, like what times different streets are busy, what times different streets are busy, what times you can cross streets, what businesses are open when, whose houses are difficult to locate, right? Where the GPS is wrong. Sometimes certain addresses will pop up in wrong spots. So the more you do a route, the better you get at it. That's why typically, delivery services like UPS, FedEx, you'll see the same driver doing your area every single time because that driver knows the route so well that you're going to get the best service that way. Amazon's not like that. You get different routes all the time. So I'm doing this route, and I got it the first time. I didn't do well. I needed help. So then I was like, the second time, I was like, hey, this route's kind of big, and I'm new. I'm not used to driving these trucks with the cameras because I didn't have to before. That slows you down too. Um, and I'm not used to this area. Can you guys give me a lighter route so I don't need help? Because I don't like having to have people help me. It's the worst thing ever, right? So they gave me the route again. Now this time the route is still stupid ridiculous. So me, being the considerate veteran driver that I am, knew that I had too many packages to finish before the end of the day on my own. So I was like, okay, I'm going to need help today. So I am going to do all the difficult stops during daytime. And then at nighttime, I'm going to save these gated communities with streetlights for the night. So when people help me, instead of them having to go out into the boonies, and into the country to help, you know what I mean? They're going to have nice, easy deliveries to do at night. If you guys don't know, so this route had two parts. It had a rural part and it had a gated community part. It originally wanted me to do the gated communities first and then do the rural last. But as a veteran driver, I know that those rural stops at night are terrible. No street lights, dogs, people with guns, all that stuff. Bad news. And when you have to rescue somebody and they're out in the country, it is the worst thing ever. So I was like, I'm gonna do those stops first. So if somebody has to help me, it's gonna be easy for them. So Fast forward, I need help, right? They send me two guys. One of the guys is my trainer. So I'm telling them, right? I was like, hey man, yeah, they gave me this huge route. And he was like, yeah, I know. I saw you loading up this morning, blah, blah, blah. I was like, yeah, I told him, um, I told him that, the route's a little big, but, um, I made sure to do this part last. So if they sent me rescues, I didn't ask for any, but if they sent me a rescue, it would at least be easy for them, And so now you guys are in gated neighborhoods and you're not out in the boonies. And he didn't say anything, right? He was like, oh yeah, yeah, cool. I get back an hour later, and the manager pulls me over, and says, "Hey, the boss wants to speak to me." I get on the phone. The boss tells me, or no, the no, before I get on the phone with the boss, that's a whole nother story. The manager pulls up to me, right? I'm in my truck, and he walks up to me as soon as I park, so I knew something was off. He was like, "Hey, man, just so you know, I know you're kind of new to us, but we don't we don't purposely try to get rescued. We always try to finish our route." And I was like, "What are you talking about?" He was like, "Yeah, I don't want to say, uh, you know, any names, but I was told that you purposely were trying to get rescued, and I just want to let you know that we don't do that. We don't try. We're supposed to finish our routes, no matter how big they are, without any help. You don't expect to get rescued." And I was like, "Well, first off, I didn't call you for a rescue. You sent me one." He was like, I was like, "Is that correct?" And he was like, "Well, yeah, yeah, you didn't call me." I was like, "Yeah, I didn't call for a rescue. You know what I mean? You sent a rescue to me. And secondly, I didn't purposely try to get rescued. I just did my route in a way that the easy stops were at night. So if you sent me a rescue, it would be easier on the people who are rescuing me, but I'm not trying to be rescued. I'm not trying to go slow." And then he was just like, "Oh, okay. Yeah, no, that's fine." You know what I mean? And he was like, "But but I was just like, when I saw that, I was just like, that snake motherfucker went back and told this guy that I purposely was trying to get rescued. When I told him that I knew the route was too big, I still tried to finish it, but I did it this way to help out you guys if he sends me rescues. I didn't ask for any." So to say all that to say this, people are snakes out here, bro. And I didn't stay at that company very long after that because the company I just didn't vibe with them. Let's just put it that way. I did not vibe with them. I didn't stay at the company very long after that. And it was funny. I saw the guy at the gym not too long after that. I wanted to beat the brakes off of him. Um, but just to let you know that people at work are not your friend. You know what I mean? You got to keep your guard up. People will snake you out for nothing. Like I said, him snitching on me for lying, him basically lying on me did nothing for him. He didn't get nothing out of it, but that's what people do. If they're threatened by you, or if they think that that you might take their spot or whatever, they'll do whatever they can to claw their way to the top. So that's just how life is. Let me know what you think about story time with Bonappy, and this particular work advice. But that's it. My rant's over. I'm out. Peace.